Hello, and welcome to Sage Thyme. Lillian here with you today as I touch upon the pulse of the collective and offer a narrative for you to personally translate and assimilate in accordance to your divine design. So, today I am working with the two decks that wanted to come out. I'm kind of thrilled about it, actually. The Shaman's Dream Oracle deck and the Mystical Shaman deck. That Mystical Shaman deck doesn't always want to come out and speak. It's a heavy hitter one at times, and so I'm very intrigued to see what message will be coming out today. It's not necessarily going to be a heavy one. I don't feel a heaviness, but I do feel a profundity. Oh, that's a fun word to come through right now. Also, one of my favorite decks for the illustrations, I love this illustrations, is the Beyond Lemuria deck, and I'll be drawing the overall energy for that from that deck right now. And poof, there it is. Oh, I haven't seen this card yet. Lumin Essence. Look at that. Let's take a moment with that card. All right, let's see what she has to say here off the start. Perfect. Okay, so I see in her hands, she's creating an energetic frequency from the palms of her hands, and I don't remember which reading it is that I did, probably only a couple readings ago, where I discussed how in acupuncture, the heart meridian ends here at heart 7. Technically there's a heart 8, but the final significant point is here in the palm. And what a wonderful place to have the end of a heart meridian in our hands. We do so much with our hands. We hold hands with our lovers. We hold hands with our loved ones. We hold hands in prayer and reverence and namaste. We use our hands when we do healing work, whether you're a surgeon or a Reiki master, a craniosacral, somatoemotional release professional, whether you're a nurse or a phlebotomist starting an IV, we use our hands, and right away we connect that heart energy that moves from our heart space down through the armpit in the medial aspect of the arm into the hands, and again technically at the outer tip of the ring finger. But here she is illustrating the heart that's not in the heart chakra, but the heart that's radiating between the space in her hands, between her two hands, while partially submerged in the water realm, the consciousness realm, but she is fully engaged. Her root chakra in that consciousness realm, creating a circuitry from the heart between the palms. It's okay, Lumin Essence. What is she? I'm not sure yet. And there's something with the dragonflies too, and I'm thinking it has to do possibly with the ancient nature of the dragonflies. Okay, so let's get Mystical Shaman deck out. I spent 4 minutes just on that card. I could have gone and gone actually. And see, this card always has a strong, earthy, yes, but a masculine feeling for me. All right, I need to ground more. That was part of that card. When we ground into the center of our being, the core of our being, we more readily not only increase the intensity of the amplitude and frequency of that heart circuitry and magnitude, whether you're in contact with the air or with another person or a plant or an animal. When we pet our animals, we use our hands. And when we're nice and centered, the purity of the amplitude and the frequency is very, very most certainly refined. And this is all things that have been studied with electromagnetic, not electromagnetic, what am I trying to think of? I'm forgetting. Ultra-red, not radiation, detection. And there's other things, and it's challenging to go into my science mind when I'm in the spirit channeling mind and heart space. So we'll see what I don't think they really care. Okay, well. Let's see if a couple more want to come out here. This reading actually feels incredibly fun, and yet also perhaps quite specific. So let's see what the first couple cards came out as. Interesting. Okay. So the first card to come out is the crow. His eyes, I'm noticing, or what's popping out for me today is, and actually not, but upon first glance, they kind of have that cataract haze to them, which is also telling me that in softening the human common sensory of sight, softening that sight, there it is, and entering the heart space is where we start to open up our, not just our inner sight, but another depth and layer of our human sight as well. And so when the channels are, more and more clear, and we're holding that resonance, that conscious awareness in the heart space, allowing that to also drop all the way down through into the root chakras, and feeling that out through the base of the feet, and allowing, whether you're walking or sitting, but try this when you're walking, allowing each time you feel your feet to touch the ground to feel the energy exchange or sensations that are occurring, the connection that's occurring between the base of the feet and the ground, while holding that heart presence, softening the typical eyesight, and allowing, one thing that will let you know that you're doing it on the right path is, as you're softening your eyesight and in your heart presence, your eyes will take in more, and there'll be less specific focus and a wider lens, and then details will start to pop out without really noticing it. There'll be a communication and a conversation coming in through the heart space into the perceptive thinking. And that's what I'm seeing is coming through here with the crow. The crow being the truth speaker often, yes. And here he's got this brass heart chakra. I feel like it's a gong today. I don't know if that's really what it is, but it feels like a gong with a big message wanting to reverberate into you and through your heart space, again, that portal space, and sending this reverberating frequency resonance through your entire body and being. There's a truth that wants to come in. That's really what it is. All right. And yeah, of course, the holy mountain. So here, up at the very tippy top peak of the holy mountain is you. taking the time and the solitude to get still and get quiet and reintegrate the optimal levels of your higher self presence and your self-awareness, and pulling that in a continual practice to such an extent that you begin to recognize that meditative state that can sometimes take, quite a moment or several days of moments to get into that stillness and that inner rhythmic flow that then collaborates with the outer world's rhythmic flow. And that's really, that's where one of the great bliss is of meditation, right? And then for those who have been doing it long enough, recognizing that inner rhythmic flow and circuitry and heartbeat of the self with the heartbeat of the world around us, when you walk, feeling your heartbeat, feeling the heartbeat of you with the heartbeat of the earth, that is more and more perpetuated. I feel like I'm speaking so strangely today. That sensation through regular meditation and dedication to yourself in that daily meditation then becomes a part of your everyday interactive world. And I know that for me in my journey, it took a lot of time being, when in movement and in interaction with the outer world, walking around in neighborhood areas and things like that, where there is a lot of people and walking dogs and commotion going on, but I'm still in my own space. There was a great deal of interplay between the stillness meditative state and that flow state and bringing it out into the movement state. And the more I did that, the more I was able to hold that regardless of the levels of chaos around me. And then, of course, holding that state while in conversation with others. And then beyond that, in maybe even volatile or confrontational or high energy, high octave interactions with other people or scenarios, this regular practice and connecting to your heart resonance gong, I want to say gong, and then moving that into your outer experience as it's still going on inwardly in your inner universe, and it's strengthening and fortifying because of your meditation. That is, it seems to be the message for you today. To, if you're already doing that, which I have a feeling you are, I'm feeling that this is something already going on. The message is coming in. Keep going. You're doing it right. Keep staying dedicated to yourself and yourself, because it's coming through now more and more and stronger, and there's a further and a deeper length to that is being desired for you to accomplish and enter into. And then the next two cards that came out were the Wild Woman upside down and the Sacrifice. I wasn't sure what it was speaking to, but now as I've gone through this, it makes sense. Okay, so today here in the United States is the big annual holiday called Super Bowl. And there's a lot of wonderful things about the Super Bowl, and there are a great deal of not so ideal things about the Super Bowl. And regardless of where you stand on it, or if you're somebody who can sit and look at it and recognize the dichotomy and the benefits and the downfalls and how it all interplays, regardless of your view on it, it is a energetically chaotic time. The joy and adrenaline and I can feel it right now. Okay, coming back to myself. The sheer energetic magnitude that can interface with an individual, especially somebody who is really perceptive of this, will increase their sympathetic nervous system, increase cortisol levels, increase sensitivity and thought noise. And that can be completely overwhelming, and for some it's even debilitating. For many, it's energizing. Those that maybe aren't as sensitive really are incredibly energized by it. Some of them who are really sensitive to it, but they haven't noticed or aren't self-aware of it, will be doing things like having a lot of beer today to shut that down, because social anxiety is a thing for them, when in fact we could change the narrative of social anxiety to highly sensitive, highly perceptive individuals that have yet to understand or be aware of what's going on within them and how to work with that and navigate with that. So here with the wild woman upside down, the offering is to say, sometimes the social joys, the cultural norms are so much more beyond what is necessary to invoke the joy within you, the sense of freedom within you, what the wild woman would be right side up, the liberated turquoise, see here, turquoise heart, surrounded by fiery, creative, just shazam energy. And it's not that she's working at a high octave energy level. It's that she is harnessing the energy and fire from within her and below her. Root chakra connecting to the earth, moving fluidly and still. I can see her dance today, slowing down in time. And as it's slowing down in time, I'm seeing it now slowing time down. She is quite actually, with her movements and her focus and self-awareness, slowing time down. And in doing so, she's relishing in the minute moments that would pass by so quickly. And each one of those moments is now becoming many, many minutes, many, many hours, sometimes many, many lifetimes. She's flowing and shifting and orchestrating the energies within her from her root chakra, from the base of her feet, connected to the earth. And she's in utter bliss. I feel like she's listening from a deep, deep place within her to everything that's being spoken to her from this heart space. And so with her coming out upside down and the sacrifice coming in with it next to her, I hear the message being, it is time to look around at the things that the world calls normal and right and even appropriate, and start having that conversation within your inner language, your inner being, and asking what that inner conversation, that inner voices, quite frankly, has to say about what it really is for you to be in the norm of society, the norm of culture. And in each and every one of those circumstances, whether it's going out on a Thursday night with a couple of friends for drinks, or being in the dating scene, or being a super mom or workaholic mom, or a stay-at-home dad, all these different roles and characters that we take on. And it's not that any of them are wrong. It's that which ones are right for you, because your inner universe and your inner landscape is speaking to you, not just for your own soul's evolution, but also in connection to the earth that you connect your heartbeat and your rhythm with. And so there's a huge conversation going on between those, and your body is attuned to it, and you can listen into that, because that core heart conversation with the different worlds, the world within you, the world we live in, the world of the realities around us, they're all in a interrelated conversation, and you are a very significant part of that conversation, which is why you are being tapped more and more. Pay attention, pay attention. And when we have things like anxiety reactions or stress reactions, illnesses, diseases, when an individual can facilitate and strengthen the translations of the conversation from within and all the signals that are coming from that, that can be navigated and shifted, because the body will direct you in every way you need to know, and your environment around you will help support your body in that. You'll be drawn to certain plants, certain people, certain situations, certain types of lifestyles. And the more you find yourself moving in a direction that is suitable not only to your soul, but to your inner world and in connection to the world around you, the more you'll feel that flow, that ebb and rhythm and the wild woman, and time slows down, and you have more time and space to be creative in your expression in all the little things and all the big things, because you're in your heart and you're submerged in the waters of the consciousness, and it has a rippling effect. That is an ancient wisdom, the dragonfly, and it belongs to you. It is yours to become the archaeologist and the explorer, the Indiana Jones, if you will, of your inner universe. So, get your fedora on, go into the heart, and start learning the languages. This is what's for you right now. All right, excellent. If this reading resonates with you and you'd like to support my channel, please hit the subscribe button, tap on that big thumbs up button, and if you feel so inclined, I'd love to hear your comments, feedback, thoughts, anything you'd like to share from a space of heart presence, of course, or confusion. That's fine too, wherever you need to be. All right, thank you so much for being here with me today. Have a beautiful day wherever you are in the world. Much love.